After what feels like years of delays, XDefiant has finally released to awesome success this week. An almost perfect blend of nostalgic FPS games with abilities that bring you back to the golden days of Overwatch should make any fans of those genres happy, right? I say should because, of course, the COD fanboys, girls, and thems are somehow outraged at XDefiant's mere existence. How dare another game occupy the same arcade shooter space as the beloved Call of Duty? All there is to life is COD, and that's all there ever will and should be. Sure, little Billy, I can see how it's scary when a new game enters through the gates of a heavily guarded fort, and you see it as an invader trying to steal your fine silk wares. But let me learn you something about the capitalistic world that we live in. Some of you will fall into a rage-fueled blindness by default when I say this next line, but try to come back to us normies that have bigger problems in the world. Ready? XDefiant is good and beneficial for Call of Duty. Whoa, how dare you make such outrageous statements, putting together my love and my nemesis in the same sentence? You see, the wonderful world of capitalism only thrives when there is competition. When McDonald's, for example, first opened with no competition, the food didn't change or innovate, because it didn't need to. Now we have an ungodly amount of fast food joints, all pumping out new and different foods constantly to keep their clients coming back. COD hasn't had really any competition in the last decade, and that has caused the franchise to get comfortable with chugging out recycled content and selling DLCs as if they're brand new games. It has also caused Activision and its developers to become extremely lazy in fixing bugs and general issues with the new recent games. They know the new game is going to sell, and they know there's no competition for their player base to run away to. So why would they waste more effort on actually improving or innovating their games? Let's look at the current reviews at the time I'm recording this. Modern Warfare 3, the newest addition to the COD franchise, is sitting at 5 out of 10 on Steam, 4 out of 10 on IGN, and 55% for Google users. Whereas XDefiant is currently at 72% for Google users. It's not on Steam, and IGN hasn't put out a review yet. Call of Duty has been on a constant decline in ratings with every new entry, yet they regularly hit top sales for games every year, except for 2013 with GTA 5 and last year with Hogwarts Legacy. Why is it that COD outsells everything, yet has horrible reviews every year? It's simply because there's nowhere else for the arcade FPS player base to go. Now, before you yell at me and say I'm just anti-COD or some other weird assumptions you may have about me, I have played every single Call of Duty from the beginning in 2003 when I was 9, and now with MW3, minus Vanguard because really who even played that game? But what I'm trying to get across is that I literally grew up with Call of Duty, and it is a franchise that has been alongside me through childhood, my teenage years, and now my adulthood. There was a good chunk of my life where legit the only game I would ever play was Call of Duty, and I have extremely amazing memories with those games. Maybe some of you are in that time of your life where COD is the only game you're playing, and 20 years down the road you'll be looking back just as fondly as I do. But the games now are absolute garbage and you should go touch some grass. Of course, that last line was a joke, but now hopefully you get that I do have a well-rooted passion for COD and know exactly how good it can be and want it to succeed. That's why I see XDefiant not as a COD killer or an evil intruder, but as competition that can only make the COD franchise better. But how exactly can these two games coexist and benefit from each other? One of the biggest things I've seen the COD community grumble about is skill-based matchmaking. The younger players may not understand the fuss, but us old fucks surely do. COD has stuck to their guns on keeping SBMM, whereas XDefiant doesn't use it for casual play. If COD doesn't revert back, then at the very least, gamers will have that option of playing a game either with or without it. The coexistence and competition of both games should help improve bugs and performance issues drastically across the board. This will force developers to make sure their updates actually work instead of COD's recent approach of, we have an update that fixes some things, but also creates new issues. And if one game has a season plagued with issues and the other is having a banger of a season, then having that option to switch between games is even better. Lastly is just overall content and modes. COD has some of the best modes ever created, like Search and Destroy. I'm also really loving the Escort mode on XDefiant, which is very reminiscent of the payloads in Overwatch. They've also confirmed that S&D is already on the way for XDefiant in the near future. The XDefiant team released a roadmap of new content we can expect with every upcoming season. Each season getting 3 new weapons, 3 new maps, a new faction, new modes, and of course, new Battle Pass tiers. This alone will make CoD either adapt with new content or fall away into the shadows with nothing new to keep players interested. I know the main thing everyone is saying is that XDefiant is a CoD killer, and the CoD crazies are going all out to try to get anyone and everyone to stop playing XDefiant. But what they don't realize is, without XDefiant, CoD remains a soulless reskin every single year with nothing new to retain players' attention for more than a month. Let the two coexist and compete to make better and more content. With both of these games existing, the FPS player base as a whole wins. So let me know what you think. Have you played XDefiant? And do you enjoy it? What changes would you like to see in either XDefiant or Call of Duty? If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, deuces everybody.